Oh yeah, straight up Tennessee. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Ruck in the building today on this Sunday afternoon. Hope everybody's had a great week. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving as well, man. It is a big week for me and my household. I'll let you know all about that later on in the show here in a few minutes. But man, today is all about Tennessee, man. Tennessee Vandy. Tennessee handled them. Great game. Where the frick has that been all year? Like, where has that been? Where has that offense been? Where has that Joe Milton been? Where has that been? That's the biggest question for me. I want to know where that has been because obviously it's not been where we've seen it, and they showed that they can, and that's crazy. What a game from Joe Milton, man. He went absolutely bananas yesterday. Tennessee basketball heading to Chapel Hill on Wednesday, man, to play the North Carolina Tar Heels on the hardwood. Can't wait to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But to start the show, man, here in just a second, we're going to start it this way. Dylan Sampson has kind of been, putting little things out there throughout the season. But today, I think he made his biggest mark on what potentially might be his next move here as a collegiate athlete, potentially not at Tennessee any longer. It's your boy Ruck in the building, man. Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee. This is the next day Vandy Week show. Tap in today wherever you're watching. Let's get it.
From 40, on the way, a knuckleball. He's got it!
Hey, yo, Straight Up Tennessee family, what's good? It's your boy Ruck in the building today on this Sunday, man. Thank you for whoever is tuned in today live on YouTube and Facebook today, man. Thank you guys so much for tapping in with us today, man. It's going to be a great show. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk today, man. We're just going to have a good time together, man. Go ahead and fill the chat up with all the comments, questions, concerns. But everybody listening today on Apple and Spotify, we're glad you're listening there as well. Continue to rate this thing 5 stars, man, and let people know why they need to be listening to Straight Up Tennessee, baby. If you're on YouTube, man, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification right now. Join the channel, man. 99 cents, bro. You don't even know it's coming out. You don't even know, bro. Just hop on. Go ahead and join the channel. We're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing more content for you, man. It's basketball season now. Tennessee awaits after championship weekend to see, where we fall in the bowl category. It looks a lot like right now Tennessee's going to probably be playing North Carolina in the Gator Bowl. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know if that's 100% true. That might change. So don't hold me to it. But I do think Tennessee's going to the Gator Bowl, and they're going to be playing the North Carolina Tar Heels there as well. So, man, hope everybody had a great day today. Man, mine has been busy getting home just a little bit ago, ate some lunch, and now we in this thing, man. We're going to talk about Tennessee and what we can, kind of expect moving forward for this roster. The biggest news, let's start it this way. And then I'm going to get to the chat here in a minute. But the biggest news, I think, is the uncertainty of what's going to happen here in the transfer portal with a lot of our guys. How many guys are looking forward to transitioning? How many guys are not? How many guys are staying? It's a lot of that you always have to deal with now because the portal has made that an emphasis every single year. Today, literally a little over an hour ago, I'm just going through the page, clicking on stories, reading, and I see Dylan Sampson post a picture of him in a Tennessee jersey. He looks kind of sad. And he has the Drake song, Just Hold On, We're Going Home, posted there. And, he's been posting a lot of little things throughout the year that, the caged cheetah that he posted, and just a lot of little things like that throughout the year that have kind of hinted that he was frustrated, or hinted that, he's not happy with how things are going. And you know, previously Dylan has had in his Instagram bio, God first, Louisiana made, and it's had Vol football running back. Well, now the Vol football running back has been removed from his page. Um, if you haven't seen what I'm telling you about, here's just a quick little glimpse of what I'm talking about when he posted that "Just hold on, we're going home" piece. If you look at his story right here, so you can see that right there. Looks a little distraught, and he's playing "Just hold on, we're going home" by Drake. And I don't know what to think about it. I mean, had some folks in the Discord. I had some folks in the Discord earlier where you can be in the Discord as well, man. Just tap in with us, 99 cents a month. You can hop in there. We talk all the time, man. Tennessee sports, athletics, everything. Just checking in with each other now. It's become a small family, kind of family text in the Discord channel. But I hit them up, and my man Jeff said, I hope this is not true, but it's hard to be upset when every time he touched the ball, he did some things that were dynamic. And, I think that is very true. I think this year with Tennessee is that you had 3 really, really great running backs. And, with the 3, you knew that the carries would not be as even as we thought. And at times, Samson didn't play a down. He didn't touch the football, and you see that side of it. But then you look at the future, and it's kind of hard for me to say, Dylan Sampson, bro, like, don't do this right now. You know what I'm saying? And you don't just, when you're frustrated or when you're angry, you make rash decisions. You make decisions that you would never make when you are feeling good or feeling happy or filled with joy. Like, you start to make rash decisions when you begin to do that. And I'm hoping that this is just another one of those things that, hey, it kind of blows over and, we get to work, because Dylan Sampson was a leader on this football team. I mean, he was on the leadership council, and then to just transfer, it's kind of wild to me. Unless there's something going on that's extra that we just don't know of. That's a little out of the box to me. So I don't know what to think, man. I'm hoping he's not transferring, but if he is, then he's making way for Cameron Seldon. He's making way for Peyton Lewis next year, 24 running back. And I still gotta like what we're doing. I still like what we have in that running back room. So I don't know. Let's go to the chat. It's only my boy Dylan in here. He's like, yo, he says something that upset me about the Vandy game. Castles and Warren had a day. Where's that been all year, bro? Let's talk about that for a second. I haven't seen that offense since last year. What we did against Vanderbilt, we were able to do all year last year. And the frustrating part is you had a feeling we could do it again this year. But what was it that now everybody just trusts Joe Milton to go out and execute? Was it that Vanderbilt was just that bad that we were able to? I'm just not sure what it was. Joe Milton went 22 of 33 for 383, 4 scores, no picks. He hasn't done that in his career. That was his highest career yardage game in his entire collegiate career. He threw for the most yards last night. And what's crazy is D. Samp had 10 touches yesterday. Jalen Wright only had 11. I'm just thinking about that, but whatever. Jabari only had 4 touches. It's hard for me to answer that question, Dylan, because this year has been just so strange overall. Overall, the year was weird. and then you go out the last game and look like you did in 22. It's just I'm scratching my head on a lot of it, man. It just didn't make a lot of sense. So they had a great day. I mean, look, McAllen Castles had 3 grabs. Jacob Warren had 3 grabs. Jacob Warren had 82 yards receiving and a score. Castles had a score. I mean, they played great. Dylan also said something of note. Jalen Wright did the exact same thing. This is talking going back to the Dylan Sampson transfer portal news. Jalen Wright did this same thing last year, and he got a huge NIL deal. Maybe it's Samp falling in his footstep, but he's a guy we can't lose to the portal. Yeah, I agree. I don't think you can lose Dylan Sampson to the portal. And if you do, like, you don't like it, but you gotta still like the potential of that room, right? Like Jalen Wright can definitely go to the league this year. But if he knows that Dylan Sampson's gone, like, does he come back and just get twice the carries? Because then you're gonna have Cameron Seldon, who's a sophomore, Khalifa Keith, Deshaun Bishop. Then you got the young boy Peyton Lewis coming in. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, what happens if Dylan Sampson does indeed transfer? I'm not sure it's the best thing for him to transfer unless it is an NIL deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's NIL and it's about the money, like, okay, that's a little different in my opinion, but it's hard for me to see him transition when he's had so much leadership and so much given to him here at Tennessee. He's worked for it. Like, don't get me wrong, he's worked for it, but there's just been so much that Samp has been a part of, and it's just hard for me to see him transition after this. And then, yeah, so that's kind of where my head is about everything right now. Is you look great against Vanderbilt, and now we await, what happens. What does Tennessee do here in the next week? This time next week, where are we going to play? I think we'll know a lot about that. And yeah, so this year, let's talk about this year. 8-4, not what we want it to be. I don't think us as fans are upset that we're 8-4. Again, we're upset at the way that we became 8-4. Every game we lost, we got busted, except Alabama, really, because Alabama, we were busting them and then had no answer for them in the second half. Just played terrible in the second half. If you could change one thing, like, what would you have changed? I had somebody ask me that question. Like, if you could have changed one thing, what would you have changed? I think for me, it's that I wouldn't have been so excited after we saw how good the defense was early. I think we were playing bad teams early, and the defense was eating on them. Because in the back half of the year, the defense looked like the same defense that we've had. You still got guys. James Pierce looked like a boy this year. Josh Josephs, I think, took a step back. Tyler Barron, he's going to go get paid next year in the draft. Had a great senior campaign. I do not expect Tyler Barron to come back to Tennessee next year. There's individuals that stick out to me. But as far as an entire defense, like, it was still another underwhelming week, in my opinion. Like, it was another, I say week. It was another underwhelming year. Last year was unbelievable. So I'm not saying consecutive, right? But I am saying, like, man, we were so excited. And I said 9-3 at the beginning of the year. I did not think we would, win 10 games. I didn't think that. You're going to take a step back. When you're building a program and you peak early, you have to expect a step to be taken backwards in that time frame. Like, Kirby Smart didn't build this powerhouse in Georgia in 3 years. It took him until like year 5, year 6, and now he is absolutely growing and just, this is their 3rd straight 12-0 season. Straight on the way to potentially 3-peating. Has there ever, anybody let me know, has there ever been a 3-peat? Has there ever been an NCAA, has anybody ever won an NCAA championship in football 3 straight years? I don't think so. And this would be insane if they do, because they could. They really can. New quarterback, it don't matter. Like, they've built this program in a way that is sustainable. And that's why I'm like, ain't nobody really catching up to Georgia right now. Like the way that they are built is like how Bama was in the 2010 to 2020 range. Like every year you knew you was gonna get hit in the mouth. Like you just knew. Like, man, we playing Bama. All right, we about to lose by 40. Like you just knew that. Sorry, y'all, I had to get a little drink of water. You just knew that. And so now that's how Georgia is. You know, you feel good. You're like, yeah, man, we got Georgia. Yeah, we can get them. Nope. Dylan says, I'm not mad at 8-4, but getting stomped on the road has to stop next year. Still got to go to Oklahoma and Athens and cannot afford to fall flat like that again next year. You know, Dylan, I'm going to answer that one a little differently. I don't think we will. I think that we're going to have the offense next year as far as the quarterback position and the skill guys around him, right? Like Squirrel White's coming back, folks. He's going to be number one wide receiver. Dante Thornton is coming back, people. He's going to have a full year under his belt in the system. I expect a completely different version of Dante Thornton in the year 2024 for Tennessee. I expect him to eat. Like, legitimately, I expect him and Squirrel White to do whatever they want next year. Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod's going to be a great wide receiver for Tennessee. I think Chaz has the most potential out of everybody. We know what Squirrel's going to do. Squirrel's going to do his thing. I think Chaz has the most upside because we've seen, man, like this dude is straight. Like Chaz straight, bro. He nice. But I think the ultimate thing is having Nico. I think you see now, bro, just how just in control dude is, man. Like I ain't never seen a young cat like that, just in control, man, understanding different schemes, understanding different, like everything. It just feels like he understands football. And I love that. I like that leading into next year. Like, man, the confidence level for me is up there. I think we'll be good. I'm not saying 10 wins. I'm not saying 9 wins. Right now, I told Turn on the phone earlier last week, I said, man, I'm saying 7-5. And I'm saying 7-5 because I don't want to be upset. Now, as the year gets closer, we look at the schedule. We don't know the non-conference games yet. But I was looking at the SEC schedule, and there's only 3 of those games that we could actually lose. Legit. And it's Alabama, it's Oklahoma, and it's Georgia. Like, those are the 3 games, and I'm like, Tennessee might lose those games. But after that, I was like, I mean, I got to see non-conference. Like, who are we playing? We don't know. I got to see the non-conference schedule. But Dylan answered the question. He said nobody has won 3 straight. Bama almost did it, and USC almost did it in the Pete Carroll days. Yeah, I thought so. I think Georgia's going to do it. They have the roster, bro. The roster is what I'm talking about from Georgia. From all aspects of what they do, they have a deep roster, and one guy gets hurt, here's another guy. That guy gets hurt, shoot, here's another guy. Or shoot, we're going to rotate this guy to here and then put another 5-star in on the D-line. It doesn't matter. And one day when Tennessee gets to that point, we're going to be able to feel what that's like to just be very good all the time. That's what Georgia's doing right now. So, back to kind of just talking about the year overall, like how you feel. And I don't know if I'm mad. I don't think I'm mad. I think I'm just more like, man, what could we have been? Right? Like you look at the team and you saw how great Joe was in the Orange Bowl, and you just kind of expected him to come in and do and produce the same way, and it just didn't happen. And a lot of it might have been coaching. A lot of it could have been him, like in between the ears, not understanding from, what actually was going on and not being 100% confident in every move that he was going to make. We don't know that. We could be wrong, but we don't know what it was. And for us to not know what it was, it's hard to, kind of critique it from a 10,000-foot view. And I know we should have been better. I think we were definitely a 9-win team. You lose to Florida the way you lose to Florida. You lose to Missouri the way you lose to Missouri. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm okay with a loss, but it's the way we lost this year, y'all. It's pitiful, pitiful. And so looking at 24, man, it's just how can this team build on road woes? Like, can we be better on the road? We're gonna have to be. We're gonna have to be better on the road. You got to go to Norman, like Dylan said. You got to go to Arkansas. You got some games you got to go win. Going to Oklahoma, going to Georgia, going to Arkansas, to Vandy. Like, nobody cares about Vandy, right? We're gonna win the game. But still, like, these are things you have to do. Like, we can't just talk about it. Like, we have to do it. So I would not say this year was a failure. Let me say that right now. This year was not a failure. It was a disappointment. And that's the best way to explain it from my point of view. I don't think that Tennessee did anything wrong. I don't think that we were just like god awful. I think that then in games we did bad things and it cost us. And it, playing on the road was the woe this year. We didn't lose to anybody that was not the number one team in the country at Neyland Stadium, right? But you go on the road and you just struggled all year, bruh. All year, you struggled. Even at Kentucky, man, we had opportunities to blow them out. They beat Louisville yesterday, which is crazy. And you barely come out of Lexington with a win. It's just weird. Just a weird year, disappointing year, but not a failure. Still a great year, man. Only the fourth 8-4 season since 2004. Josh Heupel's our guy, man, and I think that we have to build from it, and I think we will. This is a great explanation right here from Dylan. He says, this is a bridge year. We caught lightning in a bottle last year, and next year is when Hype's recruiting catches up to getting on the field. This year was the dead zone between Pruitt's transfer outs. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly right. This was the year where almost 100% of the guys Pruitt either lost in the portal or who he recruited and they stayed. This was the last year that all of those people stayed. Like, this is their last year. And so now you're going to have a roster full of Josh Heupel guys. You might have one or two little stragglers or whatever, but these are Heupel's guys now. And we get to see the fullness of his body of work here in the next few years, man. So I excited, ready to see who we play in the bowl game. I'm not going anymore. I'm not paying to go see, I can't wait. Hopefully Nico plays. I don't know if anybody watched the post-game presser. Joe Milton, McAllen Castles, and Jacob Warren. But Joe said, they said, what legacy did you want to leave? And Joe said, I wanted to leave my legacy, yada, yada, yada. He said, basically, I hope the legacy, I hope my legacy was left and it's felt. And, I can now pass it to my boy Nico. That's what he says to end it. And that made me think, is Joe Milton playing in the bowl game? Like, is he not going to play in the bowl game? I hope not. Not like, oh, man, Joe, I don't want Joe to play. But, man, if he doesn't, man, you could let Nico play the whole game. Give Nico full college snaps in a game that really doesn't matter for, like his number. Like, he can still be redshirted. Cook me up, bro. Play Nico for the whole game. That would be amazing. I hope that happens. That would be absolutely amazing. But we await and we see what's going to happen, man. Let's talk about some Tennessee hoops. Man, that Maui Invitational was, man, it was tough. Tennessee loses to the number 1 and the number 2 team in the country. They lost to Purdue. They lost to Kansas back-to-back days. I think once we got to the Kansas game, we were just tired, man. We were tired. Going back to football real quick, Dylan says Nico needs this bowl game. Get all the experience he can against a good opponent. Absolutely, bro. That's what I hope. I hope he gets it. But this week, man, Tennessee hoops, man, head to Chapel Hill on Wednesday, man, to play the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's a big game, bro, for the Vols. bouncing back from, like I said, the Maui game. You go out, you handle Syracuse, beat them by 17, and then you lose to Purdue by 4, and then you lose to Kansas by 9. It was just a strange game. We went through our shooting woes again. I thought that was over, but we went through it again, and so that was kind of frustrating. But I'm hoping that it's early season kinks, right? Zakai Ziegler is not playing very well right now, playing very sloppy, out of control, coming back from his knee injury. Santiago Vescovi finally hits hits some jumpers on Wednesday against Kansas. He was a leading scorer that night, but I don't know, man. I think leading into this Wednesday, you get North Carolina, right? And then you transition, you get back to Knoxville the next week, and you get somebody trash. You get George Mason on December 5th, and then you get to play again on that Saturday, and you got Illinois in Knoxville. Like, that's going to be a good game. And then after that, that's December 9th. Then you look up, and Tuesday, Tennessee then gets to play Georgia Southern. Then they look up again Saturday in a neutral site game. They have NC State in San Antonio, Texas. Then you go ahead and you look forward to the next week. Tennessee gets Tarleton State, somebody trash back in Knoxville. And then it's Christmas, man. And then Tennessee has a massive, and I mean massive game. Their next biggest game, you get to January, fast forward a little bit. SEC play starts on January 6th. Their last tune-up game before SEC play is Norfolk State. They're at TBA, and then they get Ole Miss on that Saturday, January 6th. So it's here. It is officially here. So Dylan says we're getting March Rick Barnes in November. So hopefully we get November Barnes in March. Come on now. Seasons change. Does the coaching? It should. This is his best team by far, other than the Admiral Grant, Kyle year. Like, this is Barnes' best roster, top to bottom. Everybody solid. They got to get the pieces together and figure this thing out, because I think if they can, oh my gosh, the sky's the limit. We're gonna start having a lot more basketball talks, obviously, because we're not gonna be talking a ton of football. We'll be on tomorrow. I'm gonna drop a video tomorrow. No midweek chat this week. We'll be back on Friday for the one more day, which is really not the one more day. It's Chop It Up Friday again, man, because we'll talk a little bit about the SEC championship, but we're really going to be starting to talk more hoops, recruiting, little things like that. So this is part of the season that I love and hate. It's like, man, dang, football's over, but you get to start talking recruiting, transfer portal, all of these things that are coming up, and I'm very excited about it. But we got a good basketball team there in Knoxville, y'all. So it's something to be excited about. If you haven't seen this team play, you need to go watch this team play. I think that you will be pleasantly surprised with how good this team is. Check them out Wednesday against the North Carolina Tar Heels. Y'all, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the Straight Up Tennessee family. I appreciate y'all, man. Like, y'all keep rocking with me, keep rocking with us, and it's been so much fun. So we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep rolling through this offseason. So how the offseason works is this is our last live next day show until the bowl game. We'll be live on Monday nights. We will, at times, depending on the news, we'll do a Wednesday show. But if not, we're going to start hitting our Monday night live, and then we're going to have a Friday show. We're going to get 2 shows a week for the foreseeable future. Obviously, the week of the bowl game, we'll do just like we normally do, man. We'll do Sunday, we'll do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But with basketball season, there's a lot of games in between the weeks. And sometimes when I shoot the show or record the show, it's during the game. And so I'm just going to alleviate all of that this year and clean it up and really make it cool. We're going to have some special guests, a lot of basketball dudes. Stephen Cawley will be back. Lance Asher will be back. We'll have my boy Aaron Corm. He'll hop on. He is a basketball guru. Love talking hoops with him. We'll have him on the show and some surprises too. So it's going to be a good basketball season. It's time to turn our eyes to it and get excited for this basketball team coached by Rick Barnes. So y'all have a great Sunday, man. We'll see you back tomorrow just for Chop It Up. You know, it's a Monday rundown. We're just going to chop it up, have a good time, talk about some things, talk about more updates. And then from there, we'll see you on Friday, man. I move actually. So might not actually see you Friday this week. I don't know. We might still do something. We might do something. I might just not be in the same setup, like looking pristine and stuff. I might just have to hold my mic and do it that way. So we'll see how that goes, man. But we love y'all. Appreciate it, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification right now. Apple and Spotify. Thank you for tapping in with us. It's your boy Ruck. And y'all already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Join the channel. 99 cents a month. What we doing? Love y'all, man. See y'all tomorrow.